Mr. Younger, to take a different tangent, and really because you're the manager of corporate approval at CMA, there's a lot of discussion outside here around what's happening with Cytonn Investment. And many are just curious to understand how do we stand as far as this is concerned, because to the best of our knowledge, some sections are regulated, some are not.
And there are some aspects of it which are in court I may not be able to comment much on. But I think the basic fundamental of any investment is somebody who wants to take a risk and they're willing to follow where the money is. Now, I know Kenyans sometimes are very obsessed with land, but when you want to buy a piece of land, you go, you check the beacons, you see this is beacon 1, 2, 3. You go to the Ministry of Lands, you check if Julian actually owns this piece of land, and you do the transfer process. What we see in capital markets, we need to see that enthusiasm so that people can also check the basic facts. There are some institutions which are licensed by us, and that information is always in our website, always updated. There are some aspects of Cytonn, as mentioned, which are not licensed by the regulator. I think our role is, and we have done this before, we have given some cautions to investors to be careful when they are putting their monies to only deal with the licensees of the authority or institutions which have been licensed and are regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. Doing that, then you get the safeguards. So in the same institution which you have mentioned, there are quite a number of funds which are well regulated and you have never heard about complaints about them. And that goes to evidence the need that when you have a regulated product, then there are checks and balances. There's a trustee, there's a custodian, there are fund managers who is looking at that.
And earlier this year, we saw a CMA issued a guidance on collective investment schemes, and the pervasive view out here is that you are trying to preempt the situation as it unravels with regard to Cytonn. Is this the case?
Well, that's a journey which started quite some time back. It was not addressing the Cytonn issue per se. If you look at the results which are being posted by our fund managers, the collective investment schemes, the performance of one money market fund versus the performance of another money market fund, you see there's some discrepancies. So if somebody is posting a return of 9% and another person is posting a return of 9.5%, there's need to be able to compare. And how do you compare? Somebody may be posting 9% gross of cost, somebody is reposting net of cost. So the essence of the performance reporting and measurement guideline that we gave is to guide the market so that we see these performances of the different CISs can be comparable. So it's not targeting just one firm, it's targeting the entire market. And we are glad to this because it was market driven. There was a lot of input from the market. We borrowed heavily from the IOSCO principles on performance measurement and presentation, as well as the global investment and performance standards, just to ensure that then there's uniformity in the measurement and reporting so that you can compare a mango and a mango, as opposed to comparing two things which the measurement underlying it were not were different.
Final question, Mr. Younger, regarding this. What's your assessment of the fund management space in this country? And why I'm asking this is because, of course, we've seen issues regarding Cytonn. Before that, we saw issues regarding Amana Capital. What's your assessment as a regulator?
I think if you look at the global statistics, the assets under management have been growing over the years. So right from when it was 60 billion, 70 billion, now we are almost going to 80 billion in terms of total assets under management. And that is bound to grow. And we are looking at all the mechanisms to ensure that we support the fund management business for it to grow. The outlook is good. And what we urge also our retail investors, if you don't have the time or you don't have the expertise for you to go alone in the market, go through the fund managers. But even as you go through the fund managers, also take a keen interest to understand the underlying assets where your money is being invested. So it's a positive market. We see those figures grow. Our target as per master plan is that it gets to over 100 billion in the next 1 or 2 years, and we're very positive that we hit those figures.